Monday, September 20th, 1943. Two big surprises, one good, one bad. We were all sent home from school today. That was a good one. It's all because of Mr. Adolf Ruddy Hitler, as grandfather calls him. So thanks for the holiday, Mr. Adolf Ruddy Hitler. We were sitting doing arithmetic with Bloomers, long division, which I can't understand no matter how hard I try, when we heard the roaring and rumbling of an aeroplane overhead, getting louder and louder, and the classroom windows started to rattle. Then there was this huge explosion and the whole school shook. We all got down on the floor and crawled under the desks like we have to do in an air raid practice, except this one was much more exciting because it was real. By the time Bloomers had got us out into the playground, a German bomber was already far out over the sea. We could see the black crosses on its wings. Barry pretended he was firing his Atcan gun and tried to shoot it down. And there's a picture of the scene. I used to do that when I was a little boy, going kind of. Most of the boys joined in, making their silly machine gun noises. See? Bloomers sent us home, just in case there were more bombers on the way. But we didn't go home. Instead, we all went off to see if we could find where the bomb had landed. We found it too. There was a massive hole in Mr. Berry's cornfield just outside the village. The Home Guard was there already, Uncle George in his uniform, telling them all what to do. They were making sure no one fell in, I suppose. No one had been hurt, except a poor old pigeon who was probably having a good feed of corn when the bomb fell. His feathers were everywhere. Then one of the townies got all hoity-toity about it, and said he'd seen much bigger holes than this one back home in London. Big Ned Simmons told him just where he could go, and just what he thought of him and all the snotty-nosed townies, and it all got a bit nasty after that. Us against them, so I walked away. I was on my way home afterwards when I saw this jeep coming down the lane towards me. There was one soldier in it. He had an American helmet on. He screeched to a stop and said, "Hi there." He was a black man. I'd never in my life seen a black person before, only in pictures and books, so I didn't quite know what to say. I kept trying not to stare, but I couldn't help myself. He had to ask me twice if he was on the right road to Torpoint before I even managed a nod. "You know something? You got pigtails, just like my little sister." Then he said, "See ya," and off he went, splashing through the puddles. I was a bit disappointed not to get any candy. When I got home, I had my other surprise, my bad one. I told them about the bomb and about Uncle George and the Home Guard being there, and I told them about the black soldier I met in the lane. They didn't seem very interested in any of it. I thought that was strange. And it was strange too that neither of them seemed to want to talk to me much, or even to look at me. We were all having tea in the kitchen when Tips came in. She rubbed herself against my leg and then went off mewing under the table, under the dresser, into the pantry. But she wasn't mewing like she does when she's after food or love, or when she brings in a mouse. She was calling. When I picked her up, she felt different. Still saggy, baggy underneath, but definitely different. She wasn't full and fat anymore. I knew what they'd done at once. "We had to do it, Lily," Mum said. "It's better straight away, before she gets too fond of them. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind." I screamed at them, "Murderers! Murderers!" Then I brought Tips up to my room. I'm still up here with her now. I've been crying ever since, and really loudly too, so they can hear me, so they'll feel really bad as I do. Tips is lying in my lap and washing herself, just like nothing's happened. She's even purring. Maybe she doesn't know yet. Or maybe she does, and she's forgiven us already. Now she's stopped licking herself. She's looking at me as if she knows. I don't think she's ever forgiven us. I don't think she'll ever forgive us. Why should she?